All right, today we're diving into one of the biggest headaches in the IT world. How do you wrangle hundreds or even thousands of Windows computers? We're going to look at a super powerful but often misunderstood tool that makes it all happen. So just imagine for a second you're an IT admin. Your job is to make sure 1,000, maybe even 10,000 computers are all working perfectly. How on earth do you make sure every single machine has the right settings, the right shortcuts, and connects to the right company drives? I mean, you could try walking from desk to desk, configuring each one by hand, but let's be real, that's not just impossible, it's a one-way ticket to a complete meltdown. There's gotta be a better way, right? And that really gets to the heart of the problem. For any big organization, it's this constant battle to keep everything consistent across a massive fleet of computers. Without the right tools, it's just pure chaos. Okay, so to fix this mess, Windows basically gives administrators two major tools, and understanding the difference between them is absolutely crucial. You can think of it as managing with strict, unbreakable rules versus offering up some helpful suggestions. So on one side, you've got policies. These are the ironclad rules. They are enforced, they're locked down, and the user has absolutely no say in the matter. Then on the other side, you have preferences. These are where more like suggestions. They set up a nice default configuration to get you started, but they're flexible. A user can change them. One's a padlock, the other is a helpful nudge in the right direction. And that brings us to the official lingo. A group policy preference is simply a default setting set by an admin that you, the user, are totally free to change later. So if your company's IT team suggests a certain homepage for your browser, that's a preference. But if they lock it and you can't change it, well, that's a policy. Now here's where it gets really clever. What happens if a user does change a setting that was set by a preference? Well, their change works perfectly fine, for a while. Because the next time group policy refreshes, which happens automatically in the background, the original preference gets reapplied. It snaps right back to the company baseline. It's a pretty brilliant way to keep a consistent starting point for everyone without being totally restrictive. So now that we get the what, let's talk about the how. This is where we see the incredible power these preferences give an IT admin. This is where the theory turns into some serious, real-world superpowers. See, under the hood, preferences are powered by more than 20 different modules. They're called client-side extensions. Think of each one as a specialized tool in a toolkit, designed to manage one specific part of Windows. And these tools, they translate into some massive time savers. For example, you can automatically map the shared sales drive for everyone in the sales department. You can make sure the main office printer just shows up for everybody, no setup required. You can pop a shortcut to the company's intranet right on everyone's desktop. These aren't just little tweaks. They make sure people have the tools they need to do their job right from the get-go. But the power doesn't stop there. It's not just about what setting you're applying, it's also about having incredibly precise control over how and when it gets applied. Admins get these really handy little toggles to control this stuff. For instance, they can set a preference to apply once and do not reapply, which is perfect for a first-time computer setup. Or they can choose to run a setting using the user's own permissions, which is critical for something like mapping a personal network drive. My favorite one, though, is having a setting automatically remove itself if it's no longer needed. Like, poof, the printer for the old office disappears when an employee moves to a new building. And that really is the key takeaway here. All these little options give administrators this incredibly nuanced control. It turns what could be a blunt instrument into a true precision tool. And now for what I think is the crown jewel of preferences, something called item-level targeting. If preferences are the precision tool, well, this is the laser guidance system. It lets an admin apply a setting with almost unbelievable pinpoint accuracy. Let's build a quick example so you can see what I mean. An admin starts with a simple goal: push out a shortcut for a new VPN app. The first step is easy. They just apply it broadly to every single computer in the company. But hold on, the desktop computers in the office don't need a VPN. So the admin adds a condition using item-level targeting. The rule now says, apply this shortcut, but only if the computer is a laptop. Okay, that's better. But not everyone with a laptop actually needs this software. So they add another layer of logic. Only apply it to laptops for users who are part of the sales security group. See? Now we're getting really specific. And for the final touch, let's say this specific VPN is just for the team in the London office. The admin adds one last condition. The user has to be in the sales group, on a laptop, And their computer's IP address has to fall within the range assigned to the London office. Now that is laser focus control. And the options for targeting get incredibly deep. You can apply a setting based on the exact version of the operating system, or only if a computer has more than, say, 16 gigs of RAM. You can check if there's enough free disk space before you try to copy a big file. You can even, and this one is my favorite, apply a setting only during business hours from 9 to 5. The possibilities are just amazing. And that's what all this power is for. When you put all these tools together, you can finally do it. You can deliver the right setting to the right person on the right device at exactly the right time. In the end, group policy preferences really strike this perfect balance. They give organizations the centralized control they desperately need, but they deliver it with this personalized, context-aware intelligence that makes technology feel like it's actually working for you, not against you. So that leaves me with one last thought for you. Think about your own computer, whether it's for work or at home. What's that one little repetitive thing you always have to do? That one printer you always add, or that one network drive you always have to reconnect to? Chances are, with the power of preferences, all of that could just be happening for you automatically. Thanks for tuning in.